Good morning, family. This is Shirley Hussar. You are watching Shirley's World. Well, I thought I'd come on with a video and I want to discuss the immigration situation. Many people have emailed me and said, Shirley, are you going to talk about this financial uh, restitution, Biden administration allocation of funds to immigrants and illegal immigrants? And I said, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. Some people like to use the word reparations, and we know that is not the true fact. There is no such thing as reparations given to immigrants or illegal immigrants. The only people who should be getting reparations are the descendants of slaves. Tonight, we're going to talk about Tariq Nasheed. Now, Tariq, I watched his show tonight. He's excellent at what he does. I bought his whole series. I support the brother 120%. But I always find it interesting when I think folks come out a little too late when I was talking about executive orders that we should have been pushing under the Trump administration, who you had a better chance of getting an executive order for Black people. Tonight, we're going to talk about immigration. Tonight, we're going to talk about funds allocated to immigrants and illegal immigrants and certain cultures of people. Primarily, we'll be discussing the Latinos tonight. I might break down the Chinese and the Armenians and the India people as well in the future. But I think the interesting thing is that we are having latitude and leverage against Americans, not just Black Americans, but against Americans. And I always question, and I'm going to use white America for this, and bear with me for I have white people who follow me. I always question you and asking. You say that you love America and you care for America, but here you have your leaders who are white, who are giving this country away, who are happy in them to make these other people profitable, not just under this administration, but through the duration. Listen to me, during the duration of decades of displacing whites and blacks in this country. And until the whites and blacks in this country wake up and stop trying to uh, I would say cater to these people, making them feel special and catering to people who speak to you from a disposition point of view. Because those people you need to question when you have a conversation with someone and they enter the conversation telling you their dispositions versus entering a conversation of just of an introduction. When you get less than 2 minutes in the conversation and they say, well, my name is so and so, and I'm from this country, and we don't have any things that you people in America, blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's approaching me from a disposition, and that you want me to give you sympathy, which I'm the wrong Negro to come about in that manner. But I need you to be more conscious, my people. I need you to be more awake. And many of you guys are sideliners and you're questioners and you point fingers, or now you've got a silent a muscle over your mouth. You're muffled over your mouth, right? Because you're wearing these masks and you have this administration who you voted for Biden. Now, all you guys who are anti-Republican, anti-Trump, anti-America, who work against and disposition your own people, black people and white people, you dispositioned yourself. Now you can't claim this man. Ain't nobody claiming Biden. Ain't nobody claiming his administration, and no one's claiming his policies. But yet you're living through the recourse of his policies. So let's talk about what Tariq Nasheed said tonight. I'm not going to cover all of his stuff. I'm covering one particular part when he talked about immigration and when he said we need an executive order. All during the Trump administration, Trump gave the Chinese executive orders. Go back and watch the videos. I'm not going to show you where. Do your own damn homework. He gave the Latinos executive orders. He gave the Native Americans executive orders. He gave the Jews executive orders. What is an executive order? An executive order is when a president can override Congress and say, you know what? I like this bill. We don't need to go through the protocol. We don't need to go through all the hoops and the ribbons and the rounds. What we were going to do, we are going to sign off and give you this nice big fat check with $1 billion behind it. Not 100, not 2,000, not let's do a study. Let's study reparations. Let's study the black people. How do you study a culture of people who built this country? How do you study a culture of people who added value to the point that we were doing everything to sacrifice our life? Now you need to study us, and then we have to accept the study. The problem with black people is black people and white people. Those two cultures of people, white colonists and black Americans, who are not speaking up against this administration. And I say those people because if we go back to the founding fathers and the foundation of this country, and we look at the rights and the rules and the regulation that were written by those people, not black people, we are living the repercussion because they're not enforcing it. This man is going against the Constitution. Do you guys even know that you have a state constitution that empowers you? And when Trump was talking about citizenship rights, I think it was the 13th Amendment, y'all black people didn't even speak up then because the citizenship rights that were allocated to us to become Americans, we're talking about black people. He wasn't talking about A, B, C, D, E, F, G people back in the 1800s, 1700s. What's wrong with you people? They weren't talking about that. They were talking about black people, Negroes who were brought here as commoditized good trades and service, who served through the civil wars, who served through all the wars, revolutionary wars, in building this country. Now I'm going back that far to show you to understand the value of how that affects us today. And everyone keeps using the word slavery. Hell, if you want to know what the newest slavery game is, look at what happened to Britney Spears. That's slavery, and the fact that the California guidelines and bylaws played a part of that. Now you do your own homework on that story. But when we talk about immigration and we talk about this administration that is allocating $450,000 allegedly or possibly to immigrants, that's also illegal immigrants. These people are popping and hopping over this border. Now, if you heard that and you're in Mexico, you're in El Salvador, you're in China, you're in any country, third world, fourth world, fifth world country, you are going to hop a plane, a train, an automobile, and get your ass right on over here. And I know why they're coming. Because this administration has for decades and for years pushed money away from us and into their hands. Here's the problem. Black people have seen this as leaders in this country. Maxine Waters, Sheila Jackson of Texas, all these people who think legislators, even Teresa, my boy, I forgot who he said, the congressional man or senator, he's gone on our side. None of those people have been on your side, Tariq. None of those black elected officials have been on our side, or we would not be in this position. They have dispositioned themselves to, they're almost in the grave. So who are they mentoring to replace them? Latinos in California. So I don't know statewide, but we already know the other Latin girl who's over in New York making hell, who ain't got no common sense. This is and what happened to Detroit, Michigan in 2015 and 2014 and 10, where there were a lot of people who became homeless in Detroit and foreclosed upon. And they brought all those people from Syria and the Muslims over. And now you have a very strong Muslim community in Detroit, Michigan. Where were the black people then? Why did you Negroes say something then? Again, a disposition of culture of people. You can't blame that, but nobody on yourself. When we should have been reuniting as a front and a voice in regards to how we are being treated nationwide, not even just only worldwide, but nationwide. So, has anyone forgot there's a thing called COVID-19? Has anyone forgotten that? Because they quick to throw that in the black churches. The black churches are more scared than anything. They live by fear and not by faith. And yet they're loud talking about let's give the immigrants 450,000. Are they gonna tell? Are those Biden's, Mr. Biden? Let me ask you a question. Are these people vaccinated that you're saying they can come over and get these damn checks? Or do they have to be vaccinated first to get a check? You ain't mentioned the vaccination of these checks. the word that we all can't say. So I'm just asking a question in regards to the disposition and the allocation of funds not given to us, and even with black Republicans who don't add value, these new black Republicans who say the most oh my God, you guys say the most craziest crap when it talks of slavery and how we're all the same and we need to work together. They got your ass programmed too. They got your ass programmed too. You don't even understand black history as a Negro. So I'm not happy with these new black Republicans either. And y'all know who they are. And they just so happy to have a Negro on a tree come and be a Republican. They don't even want us to be positioned in a powerful financial position. They think we should be all the same. Well, we're not all the same, America. Because if we were, you wouldn't have had all those executive orders from Trump, underneath Obama, underneath Clinton, underneath Reagan, underneath um, the Carter administration. If you study each one of those administrations, some culture of people were leveraging every one of those in the billions. And now, when Black people are now starting to have more conversations with each other and they use the word reparations, other cultures of people have wrapped their hands around that word and they want reparations too. And we sit back and say, no, 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 we're first. But they say, oh, we've got attorneys, we've got banks, we have people who are lobbying for us. What do you Negroes have? Homelessness, crime, unwed mothers, black men in prison. That's what you people are worthy of. And that's what we're going to keep you in that status. And I want black people to understand, in order to change your position from being dispositioned, you have to understand leverage and latitude. In order to move forward and get ahead of the game, pass go, do not collect $200 and stay out of that one and go straight to boardwalk. To go straight to boardwalk, what you're going to have to do is you've got to get an executive order with some financial leverage and latitude behind it. And there will be blacks and whites and Republicans and Democrats who don't want you to have none of it. Does that make it fair? Absolutely not. But it's the fact that if you don't get loud enough and unite as a unit, because when you have Tariq Nasheed and you have Yvette Cornell and you got all these other people out here saying the most crazy stuff, even down to Kanye West, Roland Martin, and everybody's on all these different pages, right? I'm black, I'm more black than you, I'm more da 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 than you. You will never get a result of one agenda until everyone comes to understand we need to have one agenda leverage in the financial aspects towards descendants of slaves so we can take care of our own people, so we can save the towns that are still left that are black. We have lost parts of Detroit that we will never get back because of the Syrians and the Muslim. You're about to lose parts of Georgia if them black people don't wake up over there. You've lost California with the disposition of the Latin communities next to Mexico, opening up the border, telling everybody, feel sorry for me, but on the other hand, don't feel sorry because we were supposed to have this state anyway. In the meantime, the silence and the displacement and everybody being in their own quadrants are not bringing a unity when it comes to descendants of slaves or even black people. You even have blacks against blacks with the Africans, right? I'm from Africa. You people were the leftover. Nobody wanted Africans, but yet they come here and play our card. And people from Jamaica and Trinidad, and oh, there's a thing called Caribbean islands too. The Caribbeans, they also get the benefit and then act like they are part of the same genre of the descendants of slaves. And most people who are from those descents don't care about descendants of slaves because they go, well, we're all the same. And that is not true. When Tariq said executive order, will you think we're going to get that under this administration? Do you really think this man is going to have it so that we are able to get a financial leverage against them? You have to build a case. You need lobbyists. You need attorneys. You need a united front. You need state leaders. You need to have a team of active people. And if you don't have that, then you need to do what I have said previously, and I'm going to stick to that. And I've told you over and over: God, family, food, water, and shelter. Because you are getting ready to be living in an administration that is going to have such an inflation that you've never seen in your lifetime. There's no way when you hear Janet Yellen talking about, oh, we're going to raise the rates. We're going to raise the rates. You cannot raise rates in this country when you have millions of people who have not made mortgage payments and have no place to stay. When you have Black people who are 80 to 90% homeless because we don't have the leverage to be able to pick our own people up off of the street. We don't have the leverage to be able to take our Black people and go to small towns in the South and start a new beginning. We don't have those leverage and latitudes like the Afghanistans have been given, these nice condos in California, these nice apartments in California with money and shelter. We don't have that. And why do we have that? Because we are not a united front. We're too busy talking about look what they got, look what they got, and then not rallying against that or saying if you give them that, you should at least give us this. But if we're not conscious of that, we're going to still see more foreclosures and forbearance and homeless people in this country, white and Black and veterans who should not even think of that. You shouldn't even think of that. But tonight, I want to share with you some articles that I've been reading. Tonight is the article night. And then I want you to do your own homework. And I want you to tell me in the comments at the end of this video, and I want some comments. I'm hoping I get some comments, if you're nice enough to give me some comments. Where's your stand in all of this money not coming to descendants of slaves? And if you're not a descendant of slave and you happen to be white, you tell me this is your country. Oh, Shirley, that's not true. You're an American. It's your country too. We love you, Shirley. Okay, if it's my country too, why do you leverage against my people? And why do you live your everyday life when you see you just eating your bonbons and your candy canes and these outdoor eating areas and homeless people sleeping on the ground uh, full of feces and animals and bugs and rats, and you act like that's the new normal. I post that on my Facebook page, and it just was always it's just mind boggling to me how it has become the new normal. Let me see if I can find this one before I put this up on Facebook. I mean, what do you guys think in the comment section when you sit back and you say, here we have these people who are homeless, and now we've become abnormal? That's what it is. It is the new abnormal that we see these people who don't have nothing. These people who don't have nothing, and yet you live your life and you just eat and have your caravans and your coffee, and it doesn't bother you. For some reason, it just does not bother you. Oh, here's this thing. Okay, let me see. I'll make this large. All right, hold on. Let me show you this real quick. Share screen. I want you to see. See this? Can y'all see this? What are these white people doing? Tell me, white America. You even got a sister in the background. But tell me, she's smiling and talking with her hand, or as a man. Possibly, I don't know who that is, but whoever it is with the hat on. Then you have this other person, and then they're all eating outside because it's COVID. But what's on the bottom here? What do we have here? Uh, well, look at his hands. Got no shoes. Brother ain't got no shoes. Someone threw him a blanket. That's the only thing he got. He ain't even got no bags. He ain't got no bags. But you know what? It's not my problem because we are at I don't know what restaurant this is. Somebody might see who that restaurant is. We're eating outside. We are eating outside, and we can care less about you Negroes. Now, if this was a white veterans, they might have a white veteran man, they might, and I said might, and not necessarily so, have compassion for this man. But we don't even have compassion because we don't have we don't have the resources to help this man. Because in our mind, we're saying to ourselves, I don't want to be him. Am I telling the truth? Good morning, Ohio. I see you watching me. Thank you so much. We don't want to be him. We don't want to be this man. See this man down here? You don't want to be him. So there's only so much we can give. But because and I mean this has got a lot of shares. This man, Nicholas, he posted it. He's out of LA. This is California. Now I want you to see this. He's got 31 shares. I said, look at the guy in the picture. Oh my God. End of the day. Da, 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 da. Wait until it comes to here. And all this guy's talking about in my country. Oh my God. 7,300 likes. I mean 7,300 likes. Unfreaking believable. What kind of America do we have when we see in this country, and that's in California, where we see disposition people. Now, the only people that can help their own people are their own people. And I want to say this to white people and black people when they say, well, y'all need to help yourself. You need to take care of yourself. Well, we don't have the leverage and the latitude. So in this video, let's go right to it. I'm going to show you leverage and latitude of how we don't have what other people have. By the way, our sponsor for tonight is Cal Texas Homes. If you are tired of are you tired of the rug rat race of California and how they have dispositioned you? Please go to Cal Texas Homes and sign up. Hear our story as we talk about how Californians are leaving and selling their home and moving to Texas. We'll also talk to you about ways that if you are looking to rent, what option to buy with no contingency, and even some deals with no appraisal. They will straight up buy your property the way it is. We do everything we can to help you at Cal Texas Home. Okay, so let me go ahead and talk about the disposition. I want to start off when I talk about jobs and opportunity. These are unskilled people that are crossing this border right now. That this administration has said that he is going to give out $450,000. Look at this. Look at this. Biden plans to pay illegal immigrants $450,000. Okay, because of how they were treated and then and some 911 and military families. Well, they got to throw in some earmarks. That means they got to throw some pork in there, so it seems like they compensated for other people. And that ain't black, by the way. That might be some blacks who get the crumble off that table. Okay, but it's reported that this administration, once you see this, let it read it a little bit to you so that you guys can hear it.
A reported plan by the Biden administration to pay $450,000 per person to illegal immigrants who had been separated during the Trump administration could exceed the payments given to some families of 9/11 victims and Gold Star families. The Wall Street Journal reported Thursday that the Departments of Justice, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services are considering payments of $450,000 to those who crossed the border illegally and were separated from family members. It is in response to a lawsuit by civil rights groups. The payments could therefore amount to close to $1 million per family and $1 billion overall, although the journal said that many families would get smaller payouts.
Okay, this was created by some civil rights groups. Now I want you to realize if we go back and I'm not going to do it, but I want you to do your homework. Civil rights was created because of black people. Okay, let me make this clear again. Civil rights was created by black people, but the civil rights that were created never got allocated to the black people. We create the civil rights. We created the opportunities for citizenship. If we look back at the 13th, 14th Amendment, and he talks about that, Trump talked about that, all these laws and regulations that were put in place for us never comes to us and dispositions us. Citizenship for illegal immigrants disposition us, right? Civil rights that don't speak in the best interest of black people dispositions us. That's what it does. So you have illegals come over here, they don't know a damn thing, and guess what? Y'all give them jobs. So let's look at this. California, Arizona, all y'all give these people jobs. You give them carpenter jobs, you give them electrician jobs, you give them plumbing jobs, piping job, masonry jobs. painting jobs, air conditioning, and more. Aren't those jobs that a lot of the Latins and immigrants and illegal immigrants jump into? Yes or no? Am I telling the truth? Just type yes or no in the chat room, because you know that the majority of those people, especially in construction, go to Latinos. Now look at the salary of these jobs. Look at the salary of these jobs. Look what the plumber makes. 56,000. An electrician, 56,000 plus. Look at this. Pipe fitter, just fitting the pipes and everything, 55,000 plus. Civil engineer technician makes 53,000. These are trade jobs. These are not degree jobs. You got Negroes going after to say, we got to get degrees. And then people are heavily in debt. I got to pay back my student loan. I got 2 masters and 2 doctrines. And I bet you ain't got no money like this on Negro. They didn't got black people and caught up in the game. Y'all caught up in the game of education. Black universities, junior colleges. But when we talk about trade, just snoot your nose up at it. Look at these jobs these people are making. This is their starting income. 55, 75. And these are illegals and immigrants. Illegals and immigrants. And you saying, but surely that's not a $100,000 a year job. No, but let's talk about a thing that no one talks about. Now, we talked about leverage, right? Because if you have the money and the resources and the skills to leverage, what is leverage? Now, I'm going to play this just for some of the basic folk who may not understand financial leverage and latitude. Because I always say that word, and then people say, well, what do you mean? Because I know leverage can mean a different thing. So let me just let her
In
talk.
finance, leverage, or gearing in the United Kingdom and Australia, is any technique involving using debt, borrowed funds, rather than fresh equity, value of owned assets minus liabilities, in the purchase of an asset, with the expectation that the after-tax profit to equity holders from the transaction will exceed the borrowing cost, frequently by several multiples. Hence the provenance of the word from the effect of a lever in physics, a simple machine which amplifies the application of a comparatively small input force into a correspondingly greater output force. Normally, the lender will set a limit on how much risk it is prepared to take and will set a limit on how much leverage it will permit, and would require the acquired asset to be provided as collateral security for the loan. Leveraging enables gains to be multiplied. On the other hand, losses are also multiplied, and there is a risk that leveraging will result in a loss if financing costs exceed the income from the asset, or the value of the asset falls.
Normally, a lender will set a limit to how much risk and preparation is taken when set a limit of how much limit is permitted, okay, to asset these funds to secure a loan. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Now, we got that, right? We've got the trades. We know that they come here. We know that we are sharing our trades ideas. We are people who are already been in these trades. If you go back and you look at Black Wall Street, or you look back um, in the 18 and 1900s, we were the ones doing all of this. And then when these people came over here heavy in the 60s and the 50s and the 70s, we shared our trade with these people. They worked side by side with us. Now they don't even value us. So a lot of you black people, you taught these people their trades. You gave them advances. And then when they bring their own people here, they speak to each other in their own language. They do not care to assimilate and associate with Americans. You've leveraged them financially, and now their families are growing. Now, let's go back to the money situation, because I know y'all saying, Shirley, 50, 60, $70,000 is not a lot of money. In California, that's not a lot of money. In the South, something different. But here, it's not a lot of money. But let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about multi-generational households. A lot of y'all don't realize these people don't live by themselves. They live in families of 2 and 3 and 4 generations living in one household. So if you take the grandparents, the daughter, the husband and wife, and the grandchildren who are older, teenagers working, and even maybe the younger grandchildren, you got 3 to 4 to 5 generations of family members living together. Listen to this article real quick. I want you to hear this because I think a lot of people don't understand when we talk about generational wealth. Well, you're talking about generational stacking of households in this country, and you people ain't doing nothing to understand how they're
The
leveraging
number
this.
and share of Americans living in multi-generational family households have continued to rise, despite improvements in the U.S. economy since the Great Recession. In 2016, a record 64 million people, or 20% of the U.S. population, lived with multiple generations under one roof, according to a new Pew Research Center analysis of census data. Multi-generational family living is growing among nearly all U.S. racial groups, Hispanics, most age groups in both men and women. The share of the population living in this type of household, defined as including two or more adult generations, or including
two or more generations, a more adults generation, including grandparents, grandchildren, younger than 25. Okay. Now they said there was a decline in 1950. Do you think this has gone down? This was 2016. We are now 2021. So you way up in the corner over here now. Okay. Now, not only are Latinos doing it, but now you're seeing other families having to do it because of the cost of living and inflation. But notice in this that they specialized and they said that multi-generational families living growing among nearly all the U.S. racial groups, Hispanic, most ages, both men and women. Now, there's a method to my madness. Stay with me. Don't lose me. I know it's early in the morning, and some of y'all saying, Shirley, I can't believe I missed you because you came on so late. But I get in this feeling and I can't sleep, so I might as well come online and share this with you. Listen, this article came out April 5, 2018. We are in 2021. Here you have these Latino families that have lived in multiple households with trades doing what? Plumbing, electrician, engineering, and they said multi-families. If you got three family members doing this, they already had $200,000 coming into them households. Y'all see what I'm saying with these little jobs? Y'all talking about nobody wants, nobody care about having. We have to fix your country. That's some BS. But because you people, and I'm gonna say you people, you black people, white people, whatever people who traded these skill sets, these construction skill sets, and you've given them to these people, and tell me I'm not right that you don't walk out tomorrow and see a construction worker and the foreman is Latino. That's the lead guy. The manager, the superintendent, he's Latino. They don't speak English to each other. And this is their way to disposition you from understanding what's going on so they can only hire their own people. And then they go back to their multi-families, their multi-generational households so that they can leverage with latitude and more money. And we talked about leverage because it dispositions you. And then it said right here, what did it say? I'm going to read this. I'm going to play this one more time. I know I'm being redundant. I'm trying to make a point. So be patient.
normally, the lender will set a limit on how much risk it is prepared to take and will set a limit on how much leverage it will permit, and would require the acquired asset to be provided as collateral security for the loan.
For the loan? Well, who's giving loans? Well, let's go back to another video I did many times ago. But I ain't going back to the video. I'm just gonna go to articles because if I say it, then y'all gonna say, "Well, where's that at? Where's proof of that?" Well, here's an article. 2015, Wells Fargo gives 125 billion dollars to Latinos for buying communities. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do that? Because they can. And none of you Negroes sat back and said nothing. You too busy just saying, hey, go ahead and get yourself a degree and get yourself heavily indebted with masters and doctrines while these people come here with nothing. And then you give them a skill set and then you give them
Wells
house.
Fargo Home Mortgage is announcing on Tuesday an ambitious plan to loan $125 billion to as many as 500,000 Hispanic home buyers over the next 10 years, capitalizing on a growing and underserved segment of the U.S. market. Company officials say the plan will support the Hispanic Wealth Project, an initiative launched this spring by the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals that aims to triple Hispanic household wealth over the next decade by focusing on homeownership, small business survival, and personal savings. For mortgage lenders, the Hispanic community presents an opportunity for growth. Census projections predict the Hispanic population in the United States will more than double by 2060. But Hispanic households continue to face lower homeownership rates than their neighbors.
So they're going to get better rates, and they plan to have them double by 2060. Does anybody see that? A company officially says they plan to support the Hispanic Wealth Project. Where is the Black Wealth Project? And if there was a Black Project, then we would be considered racist and biased and every other the name under the sun. But when they came out in 2015 and made this statement, did you see that? See, this article came out, and I talked about it in 2015. Go back and look at my videos. When I talked about that, nobody was screaming and yelling. So I'm still trying to get my loans. These people come in illegally, and they are able to get a trade job. They're able to leverage. They're able to have their multi-families, and now they're able to buy a house. Do you see the pattern? Now you say, sure, you're picking on Latinos. Because when we talk about immigrants and the border, the problem that we're having is the creeping in through Mexico, and how Mexico cannot even secure the borders enough for us. And when you talk about the Biden administration allocating funds, and then they're going to throw some earmarks in there talking about, well, we want to help military families and some of the 911. Oh, that's some BS. This money is going straight towards these caravan people. Let me show you this video. I want you to see these people. They're caravan and all in here.
A new massive organized caravan of migrants storming through a blockade of Mexican security forces. Look at that as they make their way north toward the United States. Thomas Feely is a former ICE field office director for Buffalo, New York, and he joins us now to react. Good morning to you, Thomas.
Good morning, Nancy. How are you?
Doing well. This doesn't surprise you, does it? We don't expect them to follow the law.
No, it doesn't. And, as long as the door remains open, they'll continue to come. And what's really shocking about this caravan is they're already demonstrating that they don't obey the laws of where they're currently at. So there's no expectation that they'll obey our laws when they get here.
What happens when they do get here?
Well, the only response that I'm aware of by DHS is to detail people to the border from ICE and CBP, but they're not there to stop it or close the border or do any type of law enforcement action. They're only there to help process these people and get them into the country quicker.
Look. Now they're trying to slow and control the crowd. Did you hear what he said? We're not stopping them from coming. They are coming in such a facet, in such a way, you have no clue. You have no clue. And this is the Mexican police. This is not even at our border yet. This is Mexico trying to keep them out. It's made it hell for the Mexican border. But don't get it twisted. This is a lot of their own people too. But El Salvador's, the Guadalajarans, people from China are coming this way. All illegal people. And if y'all know they don't want the Haitians, they came in that way too. They made sure they shut that down. Racist bastards.
So I don't know what DHS is doing. I don't know where our vice president is, but obviously an open border is what they wanted, and it's an open border is what they got.
They're complaining because they're seeking asylum, and they're saying their applications are not being processed and all of the appointments are full. They're heading to Mexico City. We're being told about 4,000 of them. Do you expect them? I mean, they're carrying American flags. They're wearing Biden T-shirts and holding up Biden signs. They're heading for the U.S., aren't they?
Yeah, I can't wait to see if any of them there wear "Let's Go Brandon" shirts, because that'd be really funny. But yeah, they're gonna keep coming as long as the border remains open and unsafe to all of us here in this great country. They're gonna keep coming, and they're gonna keep coming, and they're gonna keep coming.
And as they keep coming, they are keep getting checks. These people are getting checks. Now, I told you Wells Fargo gave them back in 2015 housing money. I told you that they live in a multi-generational wealth factor. So you said, where are these people going? They've already contacted their family members through emails, through phone calls. A lot of them, the forbearance money, the money that they send over, they're telling them, come on over, come on over, come over illegally. It's okay. And then they're able to do that because Wells Fargo gave them a house. Now, what's the next step? Well, I'm going to tell you the next step was. Next step they did was, honey, they have their own credit unions. They have their own credit union. And what's the purpose of their credit unions? Well, doggone it. You remember I told you that was 2015. This article came out in 2018. They have been plotting and planning for the last 6 years. And they've been working with the Democrats. And while all y'all, the same thing, while all y'all then sit back and you support, oops, sorry about that. And you support, hold on. And you support all these Latinos, these Democrats. While you've helped these Democrats, they have dispositioned us and positioned these people. And I showed you that article, 2015. So this one came out in 2018, and this is talking about the Latino Credit Union. So hold on, let me see if I can get this thing to talk for us, because I don't need to play the whole thing. But let's go for it.
Latino-friendly credit unions aim to help people who have traditionally been underserved by the American banking system. This includes immigrants, especially from Latin America, who often avoid banks. But a bank account means having a safe place to keep cash and pay bills, regardless of your citizenship or immigration status. Skip ahead to the list of Latino credit unions. The percentage of unbanked Hispanic or Latino households in the U.S., at 16.2%, is more than double the national rate, according to the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation's most recent survey of unbanked households. And nearly 30% of Latino households are underbanked, meaning they have bank accounts but also use alternative financial providers such as check cashers, payday lenders, or remittance transfer providers. The reasons these households are underserved by banking institutions vary. About a third of the Latino population in the U.S. is foreign-born, according to 2015 research by the Pew Research Center. And being from a different country can impact people's views of banks in general. Argentina, for example, has endured a history of banks not protecting customers' money during economic crises. Language barriers and the lack of traditional identification that banks accept, such as social security numbers, also play a role. But credit unions, the not-for-profit equivalent of banks, are known for focusing on local communities. Especially in the past decade, many have committed to helping this underserved community.
I want you to hear this one line right here.
Nearly 80 credit unions belong to a nationwide program called Juntos Avanzamos, Together We Advance, which requires participating credit unions to provide affordable and accessible banking products to Latinos. The practices vary by credit union, but these are common. Juntos Avanzamos, Together We Advance, is a designation for credit unions committed to serving and empowering Hispanic consumers. Immigrants are a large and vibrant part of the U.S. economy and a key audience in the low and moderate income communities that Community Development Credit Unions, CDCUs, serve. In many communities, however, immigrants remain largely unbanked and vulnerable to predatory financial service providers. Inclusive is working with member CDCUs to demonstrate that serving immigrants is both a sustainable business strategy and vital to fulfilling our collective goal of helping people of modest means achieve financial independence.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I want to play this part one more time. I don't know what to say.
Latino-friendly credit unions aim to help people who have traditionally been underserved by the American banking system. This includes immigrants, especially from Latin America, who often avoid banks. But a bank account means having a safe place to underserved by the American banking system. Underserved by the American banking system.
Does this look underserved to you? Somebody tell me.
Des Moines, Wells Fargo Home Mortgage is announcing on Tuesday an ambitious plan to loan $125 billion to as many as 500,000 Hispanic home buyers over the next 10 years.
Does that sound underserved? 2015, 2018, and then they said 80 years. Nearly 80, 90 years, I stand corrected. 80 credit unions. Do you have 80 black credit unions? Do you have 80 black credit unions? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know, my people. Hey, that's really all I want to know. Because see, when we are considered the bad guy, you're the bad guy. You're the bad guy, Shirley. You guys sit back and you want reparations. You want funds allocated to you. But yet you have executive orders and working systems to displace other cultures of people. And y'all still don't see it. I don't get it. Because when I told you before, this is what you need to be focusing on. God, family, and country, food, water, and shelter. Because if you don't, this is what you're going to be facing. This is what you're facing right now. And inflation. That's what you're dealing with. And in the meantime, the Latino communities, they're getting the credit union, they're getting the federal money, and they're getting banks money. This is this fair? It's not about what's fair. It's what's taken and what is given. Power is not given, it's taken. These people are taking powers and advantages. That's why you had all the people rushing through that border through Mexico, because that is the weakest spot of America. Those areas, Arizona, Texas, California, those are the weak spots. Let's break through those areas and let's get into this country. Shout out to our sponsor again, CalTexasHomes.com. If you're tired of living where you live in a blue state that is not helping you move forward, did you know that in Texas, there's no income tax? No income tax. And if you're a military, you're disabled, you pay no property tax. Cal Texas Homes does a complete breakdown and an evaluation of your home. Cal Texas Homes can also help you if you're renting and do the lease back program where you could buy a home and lease back that home and pay for it later. That's right. You can do that, but you can't do it in California. Let a Cal Texas home agent help you move forward and having a better decision. The consultation is free, and you can email us through the website, and they will help you have a better disposition of where you should be. Because a lot of you guys are running out of money. You're running out of money. And these people have come in this country and taken advantage again of another situation, which is the PP loans and the EDD money. Let me show you that video. You got these people, they come in here and you guys still, it don't bother you. We got to help everybody. Well, let me tell you what happens when you help everybody. When you help everybody, you give them leverage and you give them latitude. Hold on. I know I pulled that up. Oh, this is the new one. This article came out today. I'm gonna do one more thing on immigration, but I want you to understand this one. This one came out today. Let me read this one for you. This came out today.
Immigration detainees are owed $17 million in back pay. Jury says the detainees had been working for $1 a day in a for-profit detention center in Tacoma, Washington, a labor practice that a federal jury said violated state law.
They are owed $17 million back pay. A jury. This is today. Look, October 31st. Today's November 1st, but this came out today. Today, yesterday, whatever day you want to call today. Written by, of course, a Latino. He gonna let you know his people deserve some money. So he gonna write articles. Listen to this madness. And they got an award. They're gonna get this award. And again, uh, get yours, boo-boo, because they gonna get theirs. And yet when we say something, people get upset. This is today. Let me fast forward you today.
A federal jury in Washington state has found that the operator of a for-profit detention center in Tacoma owed $17.3 million in back pay to immigration detainees who were denied minimum wage for the work they performed there. The jury reached that conclusion on Friday, 2 days after it found that the GEO group violated Washington's minimum wage laws by paying detainee workers $1 per day, according to Washington's Attorney General, Bob Ferguson, who sued the company in 2017. This multi-billion-dollar corporation illegally exploited the people it detains to line its own pockets, Mr. Ferguson said in a statement. Today's victory sends a clear message. Washington will not tolerate corporations that get rich violating the rights of the people. Adam Berger, a lawyer who is representing current and former detainees in a class action lawsuit against GEO Group, said in an interview on Sunday that he was proud to have represented these individuals and grateful to the jury for seeing that justice is done in this case.
Now, a federal judge in Washington state. This is a federal judge. This is a federal issue, so it ain't state now. It all got up to all the way to a federal judge has awarded these people. These people are going to get this money. $17.3 million. $17.3 million. Let that just soak in real quick. These poor people came here with nothing, and you rich white people took advantage of them. Yes, you did. And you know what you also did? You rich white people, you gave these people trade skills. You gave them trade skills. You taught them to leverage. You allowed them to open up their own banks and have their own housing. That's what you did. You gave them housing. Look at that. Wells Fargo mortgage housing. Then after that, what you end up doing is you have them all living together, bringing all over their family members, having crazy videos showing these people rushing through the damn border. You did that. You did that. And now today, they're going to claim to be victims. When these people came here illegally, rushing the border, happy to take these jobs. And you made a hell of a profit off of them. And so now the federal judge says, oh, no. You're going to pay up. And whatever skills they learn here, trust me, the next step these people are going to do is run businesses. You think they're going back to work for these people? You think after they done got their houses and after they got their leverage and they went to their credit unions, and you know what they're going to do now? These people right here are going to start their own businesses even more. And they got that PPP loan money, and that money allows them to position themselves against you. And you're going to be able to find them because look at that. The CARES Act fraud. This is all the money. And people talking about, I didn't get no money. No, I'm going to tell you who got the money. It's these names you can't pronounce. Does that look like an English name to you? Look at this name. Look. I don't care if you're tired. Stay awake and read. Doggone, I'm up too. Look at this name. The defendant. They can't find these people, by the way. This is this year. 5/14/2/21. They gave them $228,000. And he's from Nigeria. He's from Nigeria. A Nigerian citizen. How you know he was a citizen? Y'all can't find the man. See, not Black American. I tell you, they treat the Africans better than us. Look at these people. They got $1 million of fraud of PP loan money. Some more people. And if you start going through these names you can't pronounce, and the bigger checks go to the people with names you really can't pronounce. Where's that one I saw? Hold on. I got to get this thing. Okay. That's one. By the way, I'm going to put all these links on the bottom so that y'all can see them. Yeah, these people's names. You go, well, who are these people? Look at this guy. Got last name bank fraud, $2.6 million. Who would ever thought they were giving that kind of money out? Look at this guy, Anthony. Somebody $700,000. Look at this one, AKA. You know, all these different alleged names. Does any of that look American? And and you gonna tell me the federal government didn't see that? They didn't red flag them and say, let's look at this name. But let it have been Bob Jones. Let's see, what names do we have? We have Johnson and Jackson and Williams. They've been looking at that twice. Or some other native African name, Shaquita Johnson. Wait a minute, Shaquita Johnson asking for 14 million? Oh hell no, we ain't giving Shaquita that. Shaquita Johnson, Trakika Williams. How y'all done name these kids these weird ass names? Y'all done red flagged yourself. But this fool, he got $14 million. $14 million. Look at this name. Look at this one. False statement, but y'all still gave the man the $7,000. That's a lot of money. You didn't work for it. You didn't earn it. Look at these Latinos. Carlos Vázquez, John Santos, Look at that. $2 million gone. They can't even find these folks. That's why they put their names out thinking that you might call and report them in. Look, I don't know none of these folks. Thank God. Look at his name. These are not Americans. This is the point I'm making. Or these are Americans who took advantage of the system. Millions of dollars. 11. Who knew they were giving $11 million out to one? Redding's got $11 million. 11 million. Y'all bragging about, I got 50,000. I got 30,000. Hell, them bitches got 11 million. What happened to you? You didn't know how to scam good enough? Because these fools are really scamming. Look at this. Do you think, is that an American name? John. Joe, you being mean. No, I'm not being mean. I'm being realistic. This country is biased towards an anti-American. They are anti-Americans. That's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with living in a country where we are we don't even support each other. Now, you tell me after you've seen me show you all these articles and see all this money that's on the streets, from the PP loans to the EDD money, because if you look at the EDD checks, people were getting between 3 to 5,000. And in these households where I talked about multi-generation of families living together, they were getting 20 to 40,000 in California alone. Okay? And as a realtor and a real estate developer, I've worked with several property managements who have shown me where these people come in this country and they pull the kitchen out and they'll make that a bedroom. Anywhere you have separate rooms, you know, if you talk about this open floor plan, they don't want that. They don't want an open floor plan because you can take one bedroom and put a whole family in there. So 3 bedrooms can be 3 families, and a separate living room can be the 4th family. Now, see where I'm going with this? And when you're talking about EDD and PP money, some of the people ain't going back to work. People don't want to go back to work. They don't have to. You have positioned these people with the EDD and the PP money. Now you've got positions of banks giving them home loans. You've given them all the trades and taught them all the trade industry. The next thing you're going to see is growth in Latin businesses to a magnitude you're going to be shocked, because they don't need to go back to work with you. White America. Why? And I don't blame them. They don't have to. You have leveraged these people. You have leveraged them against yourself, and you have really dispositioned Black people. You've allowed us to lose our homes. You've allowed us to become welfared. You've allowed us to become homeless because we don't have the money to even pick up and save our own people. And in words to the Black people, I want to say this to you. You've sat back and you, Tariq, Yvette Cornell, and so many of them, including that Joyce Reed, all these people, all they do is speak bad about one section or one group of Black people. Y'all need to find one united issue. And those who are descendants of slaves, my words to you is this. There are rules and laws that already exist. Enforce them. Learn your history before you strike. Learn your history before you move forward. Understand the Freedmen Bureau Bank. Understand the Constitution. Understand the historical ramifications of citizenship rights. Understand the civil rights. And who are those two rights issues that were supposed to be appealed and given to, not given to us? You don't have to create any new laws. You need to enforce the existing laws. You need to enforce existing laws. And you need to also talk about monies allocated through an executive order. We do not need any more bills before Congress. Well, I've got a bill I wrote up and I want to have it put out there so we can do another study. We do not need any studies. We need monies immediately executed to our communities, to our families, and to our friends. We need our own credit banks and unions to grow. And those opportunities are there. There's many good things that are there. I want to show you one more video. And in this video, I want you to understand there are Black people who have Black excellence, who have Black opportunities. But many times we may think we're homeless and y'all don't think we got nothing going on. I'm going to leave you with a couple of ideas to realize there are people having things going on that are doing great in this country. And I want to encourage you all to please go to our sponsor and go over to caltexashomes.com. Sign up if you're sick of this madness. If you don't want to be in Texas, we can move you to Mississippi. We can move you anywhere in the South. But get out of these metropolitan areas like New York and California because they don't add any value. They just aren't adding value in their life. Sometimes you need to wake up and move on. Because if you wake up and move on, you can grow. And since we're talking about Texas, let me quickly show you a video that talks about wealth in a state that's doing well for Black people.
Hello and welcome back. In this Black Excellence presentation, we will highlight the top 10 richest zip codes for African Americans in the state of Texas.
Welcome to blackexcellence.com, the site where we share Black excellence, opulence, and affluence. Our mission is to inspire you as we enlighten you.
African American neighborhoods or Black communities are types of ethnic enclaves found in many cities throughout the United States. Wealthy African American homeowners have gravitated to these affluent neighborhoods in pursuit of lower crime rates, better schools, and Black American neighbors who share their socioeconomic demographics. Today, we will zoom in on Texas and take a look at communities and zip codes that have populations of at least 30% African American and that have a median household income greater than $50,000. Also, bear in mind that cities contain multiple zip codes and zip codes can span over multiple cities or even counties. Nonetheless, our data analytics have pointed us to these impressive Texas neighborhoods and zip codes where African Americans are succeeding in terms of income, home ownership, and academic achievement. Other important indicators that our researchers factored in include cost of living, economic equality, and livability. In this original Black Excellence video, we will be featuring the top 10 hottest zip codes and most affluent Black communities in the state of Texas. So without further ado, let's get started. We want to kick off this video by actually giving you a bonus zip code profile. In the midst of our research, we came across a zip code that was right on the bubble, but we felt that it was worthy to add to this discussion, and we wanted to offer it up as another zip code as part of this presentation. So here we go with number 11, zip code 77407 in Richmond, Texas, Fort Bend County. Richmond is the county seat of Fort Bend County and is located within the Houston, the Woodlands, Sugarland metropolitan area. Richmond is home to some of the most successful and established master plan communities in the Houston region. What makes Richmond such an attractive city is...
Hold on, I want to stop for a second. I want to make sure, hold on a second. Please bear with me. I want to make sure you guys are able to see. La, 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 la. I think it is. I want to make sure that you're able to see. Stop screen. Yeah, I'm going to take the logo down because I need you to read the bottom. I need you to be able to read the bottom. So I can't take out I'm a Negro, That's just standard. But now I'm going to go back. Thank you for your patience. I want you to be able to read the bottom. I'll probably see if I can move it up. I'm going to stop doing the screen because I want you to see the incomes. I want you to see the household, and I want you to see the numbers. The numbers are what count. This is what this whole video is about. Numbers, food, water, and shelter, money, leverage, and latitude. If you don't have money, leverage, and latitude, people, I don't care what nationality or culture you're with, you ain't gonna get it. So now we're gonna go back to the video. So thank you for your patience.
That despite its upward climb and growth, the city has maintained much
Okay, so in this video,
of its history and historical sites.
Read the bottom. It says medium income, 100. Hold on, let me open this up. Does that help? Hopefully that helps. Okay. Let me hide that. Hopefully that's better. Okay. Medium income, 100, over 100,000. Population, 51,000. Black population, 14,000, which is 28% Black. California right now, we are at anywhere between 4 to 6%, 3 to 4% Black, and not growing. Okay. And the medium age is 31. Now, if you in your 30s and you don't want to raise your child up in a state that don't speak no English, have you eating tacos on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and you need some grits, some fried chicken, and some greens, you might want to think about getting out and moving to the South.
For all to enjoy. Zip code 77407 in Richmond has an African American population of almost 15,000, representing 29% of the zip code's total population. The area is rising to the top as a residential mecca since it's home to some of the most sought-after communities within Houston and the surrounding areas. The neighborhood has access to the 4 public parks in Richmond that is very popular for community and outdoor activities. The community is also served by highly regarded school districts, outstanding parochial and private schools, and reputable institutions of higher education. Zip code 77407 has a niche.com rating of an A+ due to its outstanding diversity, family environment, job opportunities, and highly regarded public schools. The graduation rate for high school students that live in zip code 77407 is an outstanding 94%. The school system that serves the zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Richmond, Texas employs 4,762 people. The 3 highest paid industries in Richmond, Texas by median earnings are 1. Healthcare and social assistance occupations, 2. Arts and entertainment occupations, and 3. Professional services occupations. Number 10, zip code 77396 in Humble, Houston, Texas. Harris County. Humble is a city in the Houston metropolitan area that famously became an oil boomtown in the early 20th century when oil was first discovered there in 1903. Covering 10 square miles, Humble is in southeast Texas and is 50 miles inland from the Gulf Coast. It is located in Harris County and is within the Houston Sugar Land Baytown metro area. Zip code 77396 in Humble has an African American population of almost 21,000, which represents 36% of the zip code's total population.
36%. 30%, 6% Black people living in this town. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm telling you, it feels good when you're in a chocolate city, baby. When everybody around you speak English, people cracking jokes, everybody's relatable. You could look at somebody, you might get a little hookup, like, sister, can you help me out with this? You know what I mean? You ain't got to be worried about it. You can use some black cards, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. Look at the advantage of what you get here, and you get to work with some good white people that understand the Negroes in their community. I mean, come on. If you are dispositioned or unhappy, you need to go to Cal Texas Homes right now. I put it in the link, and make sure you click and sign up, because I will break down an opportunity and a plan of action of escape to get out of this migration movement that is invading our country and our town. And I don't care what color and ethnic background you are. Honey, I got white people calling me left and right. Surely structure a plan for me. Even if you have bad credit, we are working with people with FICO scores at 550 to help them position themselves in a better lifestyle. This is a better lifestyle.
It is home to some of the best schools in the area, a large mall, state-of-the-art hospital facilities, and its very own civic center and covered civic arena. Attractive for the lush greenery, this community has access to many local parks, such as Hirsch Memorial Park, Uptown Park, Scott Park, and Timberwood Park. Zip code 77396 has a niche.com rating of an A- due to its excellent diversity, family environment, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students in zip code 77396 rate is 81%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students for every teacher. The economy of Humble, Texas employs 7,767 people, but next door, Houston, offers over 1 million jobs. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Humble, Texas by median earnings are 1. Computer occupations, 2. Engineering and science occupations, and 3. Architecture occupations. Number 9, zip code 75181 in Mesquite, Texas, Dallas County. Mesquite is a suburban city in north central Texas, located east of the city of Dallas. Mesquite is positioned at the crossroads of four major highways, making locations such as downtown Dallas, Lake Ray Hubbard, Dallas Love Field, and DFW International Airport very convenient. Known as the rodeo capital of Texas, Mesquite is accessible to wonderful shopping options, a first-rate school system, and a number of eateries for all to enjoy. Zip code 75181 in Mesquite has an African American population of almost 10,000, which represents 34% of the zip code's total population. It is quintessential Texas.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to this video. Not only their video as well, Black Excellence, please subscribe to them, but please subscribe to my channel and share this video. I'm leaving you with good thoughts. I don't want you to be angry at what's going on, because it does upset us that we are being dispositioned as American people. But we represent the true Americans. We are descendants of slaves that we date back all the way back to 1619. Some say even before then. We were the rodeos. We were the cowboy people. And many of your children don't even know that. Now, if you decide that you want to stay in those communities and fight till the end, to the death, you're not going to win. So, let them think they can run the state and the country. While the meantime, unite back with your people. White and black people, we need to work together and let people know real America. This is real America.
If you're into the cowboy boots and spurs, then you'll feel right at home. However, if you are more on the arts and culture side, then you can satisfy your performing and visual art urges at the nearby Mesquite Arts Center. Zip code 75181 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, family environment, and cost of living. The graduation rate for high school students living in Mesquite, Texas is 87%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher.
Now think about this, 16 students per teacher, 80% ratio of graduation. 16 students. You know how many people, sometimes you get 25 kids in a class in California. And you know that they have half the class speaks English, half the class speaks Spanish. The school systems in America are screwed up. You need to go back and find your own people, because you have black teachers here. Let me ask you in California. I'm from California. I'm speaking from California. Let me ask you, Californians, how many black teachers do you see in schools today of the ratio of Latino students here? I mean, it's ridiculous. This is an opportunity for you to be able to have your children see mentors that look like them, who speak like them, who have compassion. To see this beautiful chocolate child that you see right here in this video. She's excelling. She's learning her history. You're not doing your family no justice staying in this state. You're not doing your family any justice staying in any state. And I don't only service California. We have a team nationwide. If you want to get to Georgia, if you want to fly to and live in Florida and Ohio, and by the way, Texas, it allows you to it can succeed from the union. That is one of the talks that they're talking about, where they might depart from the United States. They may not stay connected to America. Honey, there's a lot going on in the world, and you have to know how to handle it.
The economy of Mesquite, Texas employs 69,482 people. The three highest paying industries in Mesquite, Texas by median earnings are 1. Oil and gas extraction occupations, 2. Public administration occupations, and 3. Agriculture and forestry occupations. Number 8. Zip code 76123 in Fort Worth, Texas, Tarrant County. Fort Worth, Texas is the 5th largest city in the state of Texas and the 13th largest city in the United States. It is the county seat of Tarrant County, and the city was established in 1849 as an army outpost on a bluff overlooking the Trinity River. Fort Worth has historically been a center of the Longhorn cattle trade, as it still embraces its Western heritage in traditional architecture and design. Zip code 76123 in Fort Worth has an African American population of almost 12,000, which represents 34% of the zip code's total population. It is a real small town feel to an area that is vibrant, growing, and accessible. The mostly residential community boasts low crime, and housing prices provide more bang for your buck than other large cities in Texas.
Housing prices, Brian, give more bang for your buck. You've got houses for 200, 300,000. Honey, these houses are not staying cheap because of the migration. Listen to my words, migration movement across America, which is a new historical high, that are moving to the states that are more providing towards American people. Those low prices are not like they used to be. This is an older video. Those prices are going up. Do you know that the Census Bureau has told the state of California it has to give up one of its congressional seats? Y'all do your homework on that. I ain't going to that video, and I'm not going to look it up. You do your homework on that. That means that we have one less congressional seat in California, and they're talking about giving it to Texas or Florida. Honey, California is always used to 55 electoral college votes. They may get less than that because the Census Bureau is saying that y'all can't keep people. People are going through the back door. White people been leaving. Black people act like we're loyalists, and they say, well, surely we must be leaving. We're diminishing in numbers. Yeah, because we're homeless. And a lot of us have left California, and we've lost in California. And the rest of us who are still fighting on this front line, which I'm trying to do, but I'm still also trying to build opportunities for other people in other aspects of this country. So please understand that there's opportunities for beautiful homes and growth nationwide, but Texas is one that really loves Black people.
It is everything you would expect in a family town. Great schools, excellent museums, live music, dining, festivals, and convenience to shopping, all with a small city level of charm and laid-back atmosphere. Zip code 76123 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, family environment, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 76123 is an outstanding 94%.
94%.
The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of Fort Worth, Texas employs 425,825 people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Fort Worth, Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, and 3. Computer occupations. Number 7. Zip code 76002 in Arlington, Texas, Tarrant County. Arlington, Texas is part of the Mid-Cities region of the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington metropolitan area, approximately 12 miles west of downtown Dallas, putting it virtually right in the middle of the largest metropolitan area in the state of Texas. The city of Arlington has a lot to offer, from its sports teams to its various other forms of entertainment. Not only is it the 50th largest city in the U.S., but it is home to Six Flags Over Texas, Texas Rangers Baseball Stadium, and the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Zip code 76002 in Arlington has an African American population of over 13,000, which represents 36% of the zip code's total population.
You guys look at these population numbers. I know I'm being redundant. 36%, 34%. Come on. Come on. Have your children even seen that many black people walk down the street? I mean, think about it. Have you ever been in an environment of high profile, high income wage growers that are of your own diaspora? If you do see that, you're a very rare commodity because in California, we don't get that. These metropolitan urban communities are so liberal, infested, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, stalker infested after your children and lifestyles. You need to wake up, and we're talking about black families. We're talking about black families. That's what we want to see happen in America. Come back. Not just black women and strong women and black men. We need black families. And this is what this is culture and these communities are offering if you want that. And if you do, go to caltexashome.com.
This is a charming suburban community with a wide variety of daytime activities, diverse dining options, and a great education system. The community reflects many facets of American culture where you can raise a family, meet your neighbors, have loads of fun, and have plenty of opportunities to find a job. Zip code 76002 has a niche.com rating of an A- due to its great diversity, family environment, and public school system. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 76002 is 89%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of Arlington, Texas employs 211,698 people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Arlington, Texas by median earnings are 1. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, 2. Legal occupations, and 3. Architecture and engineering occupations.
Do you guys know?
Number 6.
Did you know that you can have a custom home built? You can have a custom home built at $200,000, $300,000. There's still some of them here, the high twos. You deserve that. You have allowed yourself to be dispositioned by being angry and mad. Honey, tell your grandmother and do like the Latinos I showed you earlier in this video. We are a multi-generational people and we need to come back as a family and invest in areas that appreciate us. Now we're at number 6. 50% population. I'll start with that.
Zip code 77053 in Houston, Texas. Fort Bend County. Houston is the most populous city in the state of Texas and the 4th most populous city in the United States, with an estimated 2018 population of 2.3 million people. Located in southeast Texas near Galveston Bay and the Gulf of Mexico, Houston is luring thousands of residents from around the globe, drawn by its mix of cultural amenities, world-class restaurants, diverse communities, and a low cost of living. Houston also offers an extraordinary large number of choices when it comes to housing, from trendy downtown lofts to family-friendly suburban enclaves and near-town bungalows to master-planned communities. Zip code 77053 in Houston has an African American population of over 16,000, which represents 50% of the zip code's total population. It has access
50% of the total zip code population. I mean, come on. I don't know how I can spell it out for you. We're giving you the zip code. We're telling you the jobs that are available, the money that's out there, and y'all still are stuck in your mentality. The government right now are not working in our best interest. This is the first of 4 years of this administration. What do you think we're going to look like 4 years from now? You need to have a plan, and that plan of action needs to secure yourself around people who have the same like-minded, spirited, financial restitution and safety for their families. That's what you need to be around. And if you don't have family members that get it, friends that get it, it don't matter. As long as you got it. You got it, that's all that matters.
To Houston's wide array of arts and cultural institutions, cultural festivals and parades, 4 major league sports teams, and over 10,000 restaurants and dining establishments, representing a multitude of cuisines. High on the list of things that make living in zip code 77053 appealing is the city and county parks, along with state and federal recreation spots. Zip code 77053 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, cost of living, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77053 is 68%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Houston, Texas employs 1.15 million people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Houston, Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Legal occupations, and 3. Computer, engineering, and science occupations. Number 5, zip code 75146 in Lancaster, Texas, Dallas County. Lancaster is a suburban community located in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, approximately 15 miles south of downtown Dallas. Lancaster is part of the Best Southwest area and is positioned within Southwest Dallas County. The scenery here includes beautiful hills, sprawling creeks, and trees. Lancaster's impressive nature views is part of the reason that it's nicknamed the City of Trees, but it also has access to 3 interstates and the Lancaster Regional Airport. Zip code 75146 in Lancaster has an African American population of almost 14,000, which represents 72% of the zip code's total population. Residents enjoy a small town atmosphere where you can raise a family with good schools and a variety of shopping. It is a dynamic community with affordable housing and an excellent quality of life. The area has a strong presence of small business, a reputable school system, and an environment that fosters development and growth of the youth.
Do you know that gas right now in Texas is, I think it's $2.99. It's $2.99, but in California it is at like $7, $6, $5. I don't know where you are in this country, but I can tell you that because of inflation, how many of you guys can afford $5, $7 a gallon? That means it's $100 every time you fill your tank up. $100 every time your child forgets something and you got to ride back over to the school. When you're like, look, we can only move so much around. So we got to do this all at one time. You really have to think out your movement. Where before you could just drive anywhere you want. You can't do that. You know, another thing I'll tell you about the South, they really believe in God, family, and country, honey. They got churches everywhere. So if you want Jesus and you're a Christian, they're going to convert you eventually because they have Jesus everywhere. Tell you, these people are pleaded and pleaded by the blood. And you definitely see that in Texas.
Zip code 75146 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, family environment, and cost of living. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75146 is 87%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 19 students per teacher. The economy of Lancaster, Texas employs 18,375 people. The 3 highest paid jobs held by residents of Lancaster, Texas by median earnings are 1. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Community and social service occupations. Number 4, zip code 75104 in Cedar Hill, Texas, Dallas County. Cedar Hill is a suburb of Dallas and is part of the Best Southwest area. It is located approximately 16 miles southwest of downtown Dallas and is situated along the eastern shore of Joe Pool Lake in Cedar Hill State Park. From the green acres of Cedar Hill State Park to a historic downtown filled with shops, Cedar Hill, Texas creates the right balance between city streets and open spaces. Known as the Hill Country of the Metroplex, Cedar Hill has 22 parks and 4 green belts, while residents enjoy the proximity to the expansive Joe Pool Lake. Zip code 75104 in Cedar Hill has an African American population of over 27,000, which represents 54% of the zip code's total population. This community enjoys lower housing costs, boasts of quality school districts, hosts a plethora of dining options, and offers a slew of recreational opportunities. Zip code 75104 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, family environment, and career opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75104 is an impressive 92%. The school system that serves the zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Cedar Hill, Texas employs 23,975 people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of Cedar Hill.
Honey, they are hiring people. They have high paid jobs. Let me tell you nothing about Cedar Hill. Cedar Hill is probably one of the most beautiful cities in Texas. I've been to Cedar Hill. I have realtors in Cedar Hill. Please go to Cal Texas Homes and let us help you. If you got a 401k, if you're upside down, if you got a property and you don't even know what it's worth, we'll do a comparative market analysis and we'll do it for free. And I'm talking about this because there's a movement of migration. Remember, we're talking about immigration and migration. People are migrating out of these other cities. And I want you to see, I wanted you to end this video. I want to talk about the ending of where blacks are in America, because we're not all poor, we're not all homeless, we're not all those people. I just showed you that man earlier in the beginning of this video sleeping on the street. We have to pick up our own and we have to move on. And I want to encourage you to know that there's other states that are excelling and really value what a descendant of slave Negro should be living versus states that don't.
Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Health diagnosing and treating practitioners, and 3. Computer engineering and science occupations. Number 3. Zip code 77545 in Fresno, Texas, Fort Bend County. The city of Fresno is a small city with big opportunities. It is a small city located in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of Houston. Perfectly situated between Pearland and Missouri City, Fresno offers its residents a more rural feel. There are plenty of groceries.
Many of you guys that sit back and you don't know, you can own your own ranch. You can own your own ranch in the South. Here you are sitting in an apartment, a condo, or sitting in some projects area, and you might have saved your money. You saved your PP money up. You saved your EDD money up, and you're trying to figure out what to do with it. That $5, $10, $6,000, honey. I've got ways and loans that would really work well for you. So that's why I tell you to go to caltexashomes.com and really think it through. Because as you can see, these areas are thriving. You deserve to thrive as well.
Stores and shopping areas, and the choices for dining are limitless.
You can have your own ranch.
The parks located in Fresno make it welcome for family and visitors who want to get outside and enjoy the great.
Look, this isn't made up. I know somebody in the chat room thinking this ain't real. No, this is really real. This is the American dream that we people talk about. They giving it away to the Afghanistans in California. Their condos look like this. In the meantime, young people are becoming homeless. Biden's giving them $450,000. They're gonna be coming to the black communities, and we stupid enough to give them to them. Y'all need to wake up and start coming together so that we all can live this type of lifestyle. If it's on a ranch or if it's in a condo, somewhere in communities where you have your best interest put in place. Texas has no income tax. So if you do it Texas, Ohio, whatever. But if I showed you all these banks and unions that are positioning immigrants, what do you think it's doing? We don't have that. But in Texas, they do have black banks. And I'm going to do another video on the future of that. Let me finish out with this. We only have 2 more. Please be patient and let's finish this video out.
Outdoors. Zip code 77545 in Fresno has an African American population of almost 16,000, which represents 62% of the zip code's total population. The neighbors are friendly and citizens are very proactive in community involvement. Crime is very low and the neighborhoods are quiet and peaceful. Zip code 77545 has a niche.com rating of an A- due to its excellent diversity, family environment, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77545 is 84%. The school system that serves the zip code has a ratio of 17 students per teacher. The economy of Fresno, Texas employs 11,700 people. The 3 highest paid jobs held by residents of Fresno, Texas by median earnings are 1. Legal occupations, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Management occupations.
You know, when they say computer occupations,
Number 2, zip code 7.
when they say opportunities, those are trade jobs. You don't need no masters and doctrines to do no computer job. And if you get into cybersecurity, it starts off at 160,000 a year. 160,000 a year. Keep that in mind.
7489 in Missouri City, Texas, Fort Bend County. Missouri City is within the Houston, the Woodlands, Sugar Land metropolitan area and is not too far from downtown Houston. Missouri City is very community driven, so it has that small town feel. It hosts excellent.
Okay, you talk about Chocolate City. Y'all look at the percentage on this one. 82% Black people. 82%. Minimum income is almost 70,000 a year. Population is over 40,000. 82%. So when you're in Missouri, Texas, you dominate. You dominate, my people. And the medium age is 35. Come on now. Come on now.
Excellent schools and offers a great environment for families and those with kids. Zip code 77489 in Missouri City has an African American population of almost 31,000, which represents 82% of the zip code's total population. It is a safe, peaceful city with lots of things to do. There are parks, recreational centers, nice restaurants, shopping centers, and friendly neighborhoods. This community is ideal for those who work in the inner loop area, but would like the ease of living in a nice suburban town. Close to many major freeways, the Port of Houston, and just a short drive from Hobby Airport, living in Missouri City is a great place to work, raise a family, and experience a great quality of life. Zip code 77489 has a niche.com rating of a B+ due to its great diversity, career opportunities, and family atmosphere. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 77489 is 89%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of Missouri City, Texas employs 37,308 people. The 3 highest paid jobs held by residents of Missouri City, Texas by median earnings are 1. Architecture and engineering occupations, 2. Life, physical, and social science occupations, and 3. Computer engineering and science occupations. Number 1. Zip code 75115 in DeSoto, Texas, Dallas County. And to top off our list of the top 10 richest zip codes in Texas is 75115. DeSoto is an all-America city that is a suburb of Dallas, where downtown is only a few minutes away. DeSoto is part of the best Southwest area. It is a very warm city with a welcoming spirit and heavy community involvement. This Dallas suburb is a growing family-oriented community with tons of potential. Zip code 75115 in DeSoto has an African American population of almost 47,000, which represents 88% of the zip code's total population. It is a small community that has a wonderful collection of neighborhoods that provides a high quality of living for individuals and families wanting suburban living, but remain within reach of the big city. The area features a vast park and open space system, highlighted by a popular Roy Orr Trail. The neighborhood also has a thriving cultural arts program with multiple activities and entertainment for residents of all ages. Zip code 75115 has a niche.com rating of a B due to its great diversity, health and fitness, and job opportunities. The graduation rate for high school students living in zip code 75115 is an impressive 88%. The school system that serves this zip code has a ratio of 16 students per teacher. The economy of DeSoto.
I know these numbers seem redundant, but 16 students per teacher? Come on now. Some of these urban communities got almost 30 to 25 kids per class. And these public schools are getting 16 students per teacher. Do you know how much more attention your child would get if you get out of the ruckus you're in? Come on.
Texas employs 26.1K people. The three highest paid jobs held by residents of DeSoto, Texas, by median earnings are 1. Life, physical, and social science occupations, 2. Computer occupations, and 3. Engineering and science occupations.
We appreciate the fact that you stayed with us until the end.
Yes, we are. I'm appreciating you listening to my video and letting me rant this late at night. Y'all been real patient. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like and get the share button up. And I'm going to leave you with this note in mind. We're living in times where we have inflation. We're living in times where I told you, you need food, family, God, and shelter. You need to have priorities in your life. Many of you guys made a lot of money on the PP loan, EDD money. Many of you guys have 401ks. Many of you guys got 2 more years left of retirement. And you could put that you can move your retirement date up. You might need to think about that. You need to think about what is going to work in your best interest, because we're being dispositioned in this country right now. And there's not enough Black and white people and Americans appalled at immigration. It's just not. There's not enough people who are doing anything to stop it, including the president or the vice president. The leaders in this country has failed America. Not Americans, but America. It has failed its founding fathers, the daughters of the revolutions and the sons of the revolution. Those people have failed in maintaining the historical value and restitution that should still be in place, that keeps people aware of what America symbolized and what it came from. As far as descendants of slaves, my advice to you is this: until you understand your own history and laws and regulations that are out there, and until you can unite all of our differences, that means the BF1s and the ADOS and whatever y'all constantly reinvent your name, whatever name you want to be. I'm just gonna call myself, I'm the Negro. Until we're able to pull ourselves into one pool for one agenda, which is leverage, latitude, and an executive order to reposition us to be able to fix our own people, you're not going to see anything happen. And as for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. We will continue to put Jesus first. We will continue to pray. And I pray for you. I pray for this country. I pray for those who want to do well and excel well. I ask God to provide you discernment and decisions that will work in your best interest. That you will not be foolishly closing your eyes and covering your mouth and getting these shots just because the government tells you to do something. If you do what you do, if you get a shot or don't get a shot, that's really up to you. But you do need to make a decision of what's going to work financially, because this is a video about finances and working in your best interests and working in your family's best interests. Learn the barter system. Barter with people who add value to you. Work with co-workers and family members who listen and make common sense. And if people don't make common sense in your life, you need to cut them loose. You don't need to keep preaching to an open door that ain't open, because it's staying closed. Their mind is closed, their heart is closed, and all they do is complain. When you meet people who lead with a disposition, listen to what I'm saying. Write this down. Hopefully you'll rewatch this video and write some of the things that I've said down, and share this video and put the like button. Please click the like button and share this video and put it on your platforms, on your YouTube platforms, on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever videos you can do to try to help people understand we are being dispositioned by immigrants, migrants, and white Americans. Because this is, where is your congressional leaders not screaming and yelling about this migration and all these executive orders? They're not. They're being lobbied heavily to keep their culture of people or their group of people at a latitude that yours are not. So, hey, this is about you taking care of your family. This is about you understanding that your family needs help. That the generation that don't really understand, that don't listen to you, it don't matter. If they fight and shoot and grab the ground and saying, I'm not moving. Oh, yes, you are. We're getting out of here. We're getting the hell out of here. And later on, they'll thank you for it. They will thank you for it. So anyway, God bless you. Thank you all so much for chiming in. I know many of you guys have been in the chat room And I have not been talking to the chat room. I've been mostly chatting and running my mouth. And I thank you guys so much. Good morning, good afternoon. Yes, sister girl, I am up late tonight. Richard came in and Angela came in. And Ohio, I acknowledge you first because you were the first one in. The Brown has come in. I appreciate that. I know some of you guys had some questions. I think I answered your question regarding the W two. You asked me. You said, "Hey, I got a W two." Some people right now they know that they can't move. They can't move from their jobs. And you said I used to have my W two. Okay, yes. We at Cal Texas Home, I give you a realtor who sits down and breaks down where you are with your 401k or your W two, or if you work for yourself. How do I work through that? Yes, just go to the website like I've been posting to help people ease their pain and have a better understanding. Hey, good morning, Mr. or Mrs. Easy D. I appreciate it. And like I talk about different jobs, positions, you're talking about leverage and latitude of people who have trades, who have families who are multi-generational families living together. Like I stated earlier, go back and watch that part of the video. These are multi-generational families who are congregating their money together and coming up with close to $2 million per household. Let me show you that one more time before I leave. So you guys say, what do you mean by that, Shirley? I'm going to show you what I mean by that. If you're going to talk about multi-generation, it's a record of 64 million Americans living in multi-generational household. This was of April 2018. What do you think the numbers are now? And who were the dominating primary people in this household? The Latino community. You heard it right here. It says right here. Multi-generational families living among nearly all U.S. racial groups are Hispanic are the most age groups, both men and women. And then it goes on talking about it includes the grandparent, the children of the grandchildren younger than 25 years old. Okay, that's the growing household. And if you're going to do this and you're going to sit back and you're going to say, okay, Mr. Biden says, hey, look, we need to give these people 450,000 per family. And we just saw three families, right? The parents, the children, and the grandchildren who are under 25. Well, under 25 is still an adult. And if those grandchildren are still living at home and they're able to migrate, rush into bombard America, let's round to 450 to 500,000, and you got about 3 to 4 family members that living in a house. That's $2 million. $2 million per household. I'm not making this up because you see, you've allowed these people to have houses. You've given them buying power. This came under the Obama administration, 2015. You gave them buying power of $125 billion. And many of us who are in real estate know there are households that have 2, 3, 4,000 square feet. And they said family. They didn't say per house. They said per family, per household. So not just per house. That's how many people, that's how these people live, honey. That's how they roll. And the rest of us who are here, we ain't thinking it through. And you heard of all those trades. I told you these people have trades. They are the ones controlling the trades. And now they're gonna get the 24. So let me slow down. They're going to receive the 450,000 from Trump Biden, right? They've already got the trades, right? Because y'all done already trade them and gave them the trades. They've already living all stacked up on each other. Wells Fargo's gonna give them a home loan, and now they created their own banks. Okay, they created their own banks, and they created a system, their own system in America, with their own loans. In the meantime, what do you have, Black people? What do you have? Because you've got Black people who are defending all of this under the liberal propaganda, all of this. And Tariq, she said, hey, we need executive order. Babes, if we had executive order, I don't know if it's going to save us because it still won't be enough money. Because, see, these people have way beyond executive orders. They've got federal money, they have bank money, they have credit union money, and they've got collaborated money generationally, which provides them what? Leverage and latitude. So, I don't know what to tell you people. We're in a situation now that I've just never seen in U.S. history. And yes, we know that there's trades out there that they're being able to take advantage of. But if we don't have a priority of God, family, and country, hey, I don't know what to tell you. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, people. And until we wake up and smell the roses, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a wow. It's a wow, right? Because when you break it down and you look at it that way, it's like wow. What you should say, black people don't check first. You know what? You gotta check yourself. I said that earlier. I think you coming here, real ladder. Yeah, you people, black people need to check themselves first. They ain't doing that. They too busy thinking that we got to assist and help all these other folks, and these folks have leverage at different aspects financially. And when I break it down, I'm gonna put these links in the bottom of this video so y'all could do your own homework and make comments. And if you like more videos like this, let me know. I may or may not do them because I am too busy focusing on my piece of America. Everything I preach to you, I have to do and preach to myself. I have to put it in action for myself and my children, for they come priority first. And my existing extended family members. And if you want to be part of our family and our extended family members, go to caltexashome.com. Please do. Don't just watch this video. It's okay. I'm going to leave this video up. I'm gonna leave this video up because Keenan asked me, "Are you gonna leave this video up?" I said, "I'm absolutely gonna leave this video up because we need to unite." Like I said earlier, if Tariq Nasheed and Yvette Cornell and all y'all can stop talking bad about each other, Yvette can't do it alone. Yvette is a lesbian, and we don't need no lesbian leading the descendants of slaves movement. No tea, no shade. You play and you eat fur pie. That's your thing, girl. But the reality is we need black family first. And Tariq Nasheed has that correct. Uh, um, when it comes to Roland Martin, uh, CNN that kicked you off, BET that kicked you off. You up there talking crazy and you paid off. You were part of WikiLeaks. Y'all do the homework and find out. You'll see WikiLeaks have Roland Martin's name and Donna Brazil's name in those leaks. Now, I'm gonna leave that alone. Sometimes too much knowledge is a dangerous thing, and I don't need to share too much with y'all. But you just do your homework on that and see how much that man is loyal to you. Up there shucking and jiving with these people who have put prisons in place for black Americans. And y'all voted this man in office. Can't even talk straight. Y'all put this man in a position. Biden and Obama. So these all these things are disposition, and until the black voices on social media identifies a one voice unit format, and that we do need executive orders, we do need an expansion on our credit unions and on our black banks, which I'll do another video talking about black banks. We need that for our own people. We need to know that we also have monies allocated to us in the facet of a reparations. White people don't want you to have reparations. Well, white people, I want to ask you, if you don't want us to have it, do you want the illegal immigrants to have it because they don't get it? Did you want the people from Afghanistan to get it because they got nice condos? They got it. They got it. But yet you stepping over my people, go get your cup of coffee at Starbucks. Come on now. There's a reality check. They're gonna clean up the filthy streets. The federal government are opting to give these people money and not Americans who are in dire straits. This is not the America that any of us signed up to want to see come about. So what's the solution? I told you what the solution is. God, family, and country. You better have a plan. For whatever money that you have, whatever retirement plan you have, you go to Cal Texas Homes, let us talk you through it. And you go and you talk with your family members if you decide to stay in the war states that you're in, like New York and California, some of these heavy blue states. They are going to be the first ones to make sure that you stay dispositioned. And that's the true factor. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you have to say. Any more questions before I go? Shirley, you need to go back to on Phil's show again. Oh, I love Phil. By the way, Phil's in Texas. I love me some Phil Scott. Shout out to Phil, Afro Synergy News. All my brothers who are in the South, I appreciate y'all so much. Yes, I do need to go back on Phil's show. I think Phil has an amazing show. I haven't talked to him for a while. Like I told you, I literally said I need to focus on my own life because this is too much. Ain't nobody paying me. I put a lot of time into this. Now people watching my videos coming up like Tariq talking about we need executive orders. Negro, I was screaming that in your chat room years back, and you didn't give me no tea, no shade. Now all of a sudden, we need to have an executive orders. Yes, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to mock you, but what I'm trying to have you understand, you need to start acknowledging other sisters who have been trying to bring you up to par about what's happening. Instead, and I know you're making your money with your shirts and your t-shirts and your videos and your knowledge makers. I'm supporting them. I'm supporting them. Um, you're right on a lot of works ahead of us. It is. But the first work starts with yourself. Serve yourself first. I'm not lying. You get the first piece of chicken off the table. You take the first apple from the bowl. And then you go home to your family members and you tell them to do the same. And you have a plan. You sit down and have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, like I told you, go to caltexashomes.com. Let us talk you through why I don't plan on moving to Texas, Shirley. Well, you need to move somewhere. Just don't stay in these damn liberal states because it's not there. A lot of wise words like Malcolm X stated, Dr. King stated towards the end of his life. Towards the end of his life. Y'all need to see how them people are twisted it. Dr. King and Bernice King has came out and talked against this illegal immigration. I'm surprised because she has said things in the past that get suppressed. I'm not talking about Alvin King, his niece who got to pimp Trump. I'm talking about his actual daughter, his youngest daughter, who's in her 50s. I've heard her speak. She has a clear understanding what's going on. Man, I would love to meet her. I think she's fascinating, for sure, for sure. It is a combination of things that we need to discuss. Max, my boy Max, been following me on Facebook. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Not Twitter. I follow Twitter on Urban Game Changers, but I'm off of Twitter because they took me down. They took me down because I had too much realism. You got to curtail your voice on all these things. That's why sometimes when I talk online, I literally talk in a manner of riddles. Like I told you, the three little pigs, the first pig's on EDD and Section 8 and welfare. The second pig, he sit back, he think he got it going on in his stick house, but he don't own it. He's renting. He's the one that's renting. Not renting, renting. I know how to say it correctly. It's late and I don't care to. And then the last pig, he got a brick house. He got cybersecurity all over the place. He got cameras everywhere. He's got facial identification on his stuff. He on acreage. He got a shotgun and he live in the South. Okay. That is the third pig. Which one are you? Which one of those three pigs are you? I done broke all that down for you to understand. The disposition pig is the pig that will not win. He will not win. And I'm not saying that we are pigs, but we're all pigs in one way or another. Ain't got nothing to do with black people. That's anybody. So you pick what color you want on that one. We do need to read the word of God, though. The Bible talks about the last days. These are the times we can feel that we are in the last days. But we can't live in fear. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but what? A power, love, and a sound mind. A sound mind moves forward. God is healing. God is providing. He's a provider. He's Jehovah Jireh. But we must have a discernment to listen to the Holy Spirit. And for those who don't have a spiritual connection to God, you are going to be frustrated through this process because you're leaning unto your understanding and not God's. The scripture says not to lean unto your own understanding. You should not be leaning unto your own understanding. You shouldn't be leaning to government's understanding or your neighbors or some YouTuber. Don't lean unto me. Don't lean unto anything but the Lord and your family and having a united front of a voice of hearing the right things you need to hear. They took me down as well. Okay. Did they take you on Twitter down? See, the real black people who put their real names out there, not no A, B, C, E, F, G, kind of congregating and hating each other, black people, they take us down. But these other fools, they leave up. Honey, please. The real people, we all come together. Thank you so much. I want my people to be protective and to be wise in all that we have to do. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I want you to stay strong, be vital, and please share and like this video. And I want to leave you with this prayer. Lord, I thank you for the people who have been listening and watching this video. I ask that you protect them. I ask that you give them discernment. I ask that you comfort them and give them hope and not be hopeless. Let their minds be open to clarity and quality things. Let them learn to use the right time in their life, that then when they have that available time, that they give it to you, and that you give in return opportunities and visions of where they should go. And Satan, we bind your powers in the name of Jesus. You have no authority over our minds, our heart, our spirit, or our financial outcomes. For God is Jehovah Jireh. He is our provider financially, mentally, spiritually. And you will not win our life. You will not win over our bodies or over our health or anything that will not have us progressively move forward. Father, I pray for the Black people in this country, especially the descendants of slaves, that they learn to have one voice, one united voice, that they will learn their history, and that they will learn the American constitutional ways and laws that their ancestors left for them to utilize and come to one united front and execute them in a powerful way. And we give you all the glory and praise in Jesus' name. And everyone who watches this video, who watches it live or not wise, live, say in Jesus' name, amen. Amen. God bless y'all. I love y'all so much. I appreciate this. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I'll leave someone asked me earlier, well, do you have a cash app? I'll leave it at the bottom. I give out of my heart. I give out of my heart. And I hope that you appreciate that. And I appreciate you. Good night.